Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Old Tappan Stadium, where tonight's North Bergen Interscholastic League matchup, the visiting Wayne Hills Patriots will take on the Golden Knights of Old Tappan. And now let's enter the public address announcer for tonight's national anthem.
As Mr. Kurt Ebersol, Director of Bands, conducts our national anthem.
Welcome back to Old Tappan Stadium. If you're just joining us, I'm David Suntup alongside Andrew Gayo. So Andrew, tonight Wayne Hills puts their 32-game winning streak on the line here in Old Tappan against an undefeated Golden Knights team. What does Wayne Hills have to do to keep their winning streak intact?
Well, it's all got to be Wayne Hills football, the typical Wayne Hills football, which is pound the ball up the middle. They got to run the ball. Despite the fact that Old Tappan is much larger in size than Wayne Hills, they're going to have to pound the ball up the middle, and then that will open up the play action fake for Mr. G and Papa, the quarterback for your Wayne Hills Patriots.
Speaking of running a ball, last week, Dan DeSico and Carlton Marson both did not get a rushing touchdown or a touchdown at all for the Patriots. What do the Patriots have to do tonight to do a better job running the ball?
Oh, they're going to have to block. I mean, it's no question about it. They're going to have to just cut down on all the penalties. I heard them last week in Mawa, but in reality, Mawa last week came out on all cylinders, and Wayne Hills actually did not play that bad. But needless to say, they're going to have to block very well, hand the ball off, and open up holes. They're going to have to find holes and be patient. If the running is going to get to them, Old Tappan, they're going to wear them down. If they keep doing it, they're going to be fine.
Getting back to the Mawa game, last week Wayne Hills won 14-0. How much do you think that game will help Wayne Hills come into this game against Old Tappan? Now the starters played 4 full quarters and they had quite a battle on their hands in Mawa. How much do you think that helps them tonight against the potent Old Tappan team?
Well, according to Danny DeSico, he thought Mawa gave him a better test than this game would be Old Tappan. He said Mawa came out coming out all fired up, and they were not expecting it. So that's going to definitely prepare them for, especially in the mental aspect of the game, the big game situation, because let's face it, they haven't faced this big of a situation since the championship game last year.
Jamie Rowe, 61 carries, 671 yards on the ground, 14 touchdowns. Andrew, how do the Patriots slow him down?
Oh, it's going to be tough. I mean, Mr. Rowe, he can run, but as past shows, the last time that Rowe ran well against this Wayne Hills team was actually our sophomore year. When Rowe was a sophomore, he actually ran pretty well, but last year they basically shut him down in the 2 games that they played him. So they're going to have to continue. They're going to have to tackle, wrap him up, and that's all you can ask for them.
It's all really going to come down to the defensive line, because Jamie Rowe loves to run through the interior of his offensive line, especially through the tackles. Mike Hurley, one of the top two-way players in the state of New Jersey. Look for him to be a big part in Old Tappan's offensive attack tonight. If he could make holes for Jamie Rowe, it will really help out Old Tappan's offense. But if Wayne Hills slows down Jamie Rowe, which they did 2 times last year, can Kyle Jansen carry the load for this Old Tappan offense?
Well, Kyle Jansen last year in the regular season game against Wayne Hills, in the windy conditions here at Old Tappan, he played terrible. He went 6 for 21 with 2 interceptions. I mean, that's absolutely atrocious. So if the Patriots stop Rowe, they should be in pretty good shape, because Jansen, I don't think he's that good.
And Wayne Hills has always been very stingy against the pass. Last week, Jeremiah Kale had 2 key interceptions for the Patriots, so it's very hard to pass against this Wayne Hills defense. As the captains for your Wayne Hills Patriots at midfield, number 1, Mike Giampapa, number 2, Jeremiah Kale, number 4, Tim Waller, and number 20, Dan DeSico. As the Patriots have won the toss and will defer until the second half, like they usually do. field position will definitely play a key factor in today's game as the special teams look to get off to a good start and really make a key tackle on the kickoff. But also, for Wayne Hills on defense tonight, they get Tim Waller back. He was out for 2 weeks. He actually was forced into action last week in the fourth quarter because the defense was having trouble stopping the run. How much do you think it helps Wayne Hills that they have Tim Waller back tonight?
Well, Timmy's an animal. I mean, there's no question about it. Over his career at Wayne Hills, he's been a monster out there, tackling people constantly, getting almost all the tackles, at least assisting or getting solo tackles. He goes out there every week and he plays to his top ability. But to force him in there hurt last week, I didn't know that he would come out and respond like that. And once they put him in on that drive, when Mawa got to the 1 yard line, they stuffed him. And you know what? Timmy's essential to this defense playing well.
Old Tappan coming off a 33-21 victory over the Pascack Valley Indians last week, right here under the lights at Old Tappan. Old Tappan lost to Wayne Hills twice last year and Pascack Valley, so Old Tappan is already 1 for 1 in revenge this season as they look to tackle another one of their foes tonight here in the Wayne Hills Patriots. As we are set to get underway here at Old Tappan Stadium under the lights, a beautiful Saturday night as Gayo is set to kick off. As number 23, Jamie Rowe, and number 2, Jordan Scaduto to receive the kick. As Gayo kicks off, short kick fielded by Scaduto. Scaduto gets through the Patriots as he takes it up to the 36-yard line where Kyle Jansen will take the field to lead the Golden Knights in their first offensive drive.
Not the start Wally Johnson won as special teams coordinator. Usually Wally in the special teams is perfect most of the time, but when they give up yards to get to the 36, you don't want to get Old Tappan in good fielding position with Jamie Rowe.
Just a huge hole for Scaduto to run through. Coach Johnson could not be happy, especially since this could be a game of field position in the early going. Wing T offense here for Old Tappan. Rowe in the backfield. Patriots crowd the line of scrimmage. As the handoff is to Rowe, up the middle as Rowe breaks a tackle as he scampers ahead to about the 43-yard line. So a 7-yard gain for Rowe. It should be about 2nd and 3.
And that's what the Patriots don't want Rowe to do. They can't afford to have Rowe wear down their defensive line. As Rowe, as you can see, he keeps his feet moving. And actually, Kyle Handenberg had to come back from the line to tackle him. So you don't want to be worn down. Otherwise, it's going to be a problem.
I believe it's 2nd and 2 for the Knights. As the handoff is to Wiggers around the outside as Wiggers bounces it out to about the 47-yard line. So it depends on the spot. Let's see if they're going to bring the chains out, as they're going to be just short. So it'll be a big 3rd and short situation for Old Tappan here in the early going of the first quarter. Andrew, if you're Coach Brian Dunn, what do you call in this situation?
You know what? I'd still run the ball with Rowe because I don't have enough trust in Kyle Jansen on play action fake, and the Patriots are so good on the pass. You got to run the ball.
As Jansen will keep it himself as he gets a good push ahead by the offensive line. As the Golden Knights move the chains, it will be a first down from about midfield. Actually just short of midfield, so it'll be 1st and 10 from the Golden Knights 48-yard line.
And this is not the start the Patriots wanted. They didn't want Rowe to move the chains so early because he's that good. They need to get him out of the game. Once they factor Rowe out of the game, you're going to stop Old Tappan. You're going to win this game.
Kicho Shin split right. Rowe in motion as the handoff.
No, play action.
Play action as the pass is incomplete. Intended for Sean Wiggers. As even I got a little faked out on that one there.
But no, I mean, if I were Wayne Hills, I'd take that. I'd rather have him do a play action fake than run the ball because Rowe's just that good. When you have over 600 yards on only 61 carries, you're a true player. But if you take him out of the game and you let Jansen pass, he's going to make a mistake. You got to force Jansen to make a mistake. But you got to beat Rowe. That's all it comes down to. You beat Rowe, you beat this team.
And Jansen's already played against this Wayne Hills team twice from last season. He didn't really prove that he could carry the load on his own. Handoff to Rowe to the left side of the line as Rowe bulldozes his way ahead to about the 45-yard line. So it will be about 3rd and 3 for about the Wayne Hills 44-yard line.
Now, the other thing that Wayne Hills has to figure in this game, they have Keishol Shin, the kicker for the Golden Knights of Old Tappan, and the kid has a good leg. They got to remember that that's going to be key also, field position. Field position is extremely important because if Old Tappan can get a kickoff, they're going to take advantage of it.
3rd and 3 from the Wayne Hills 45-yard line. This Patriots showing blitz. Handoff to Rowe, and he's taken down by the line of scrimmage. Kyle Hannenberg, a huge play on 3rd down, and the Golden Knights will have a huge decision to make here.
Well, if I were Old Tappan, I would punt because you got to push the Patriots back, which they are going to punt because you can't make a mistake here at midfield going for it because Wayne Hills, they'll take advantage of it, and they'll probably stop them on 4th down.
I definitely agree with this decision because Wayne Hills, last week they had trouble scoring points. If the Old Tappan defense is really that good and Coach Dunn has confidence in his defense, then he'll look to see if his defense can get a stop. As the snap is low, as Wiggers gets it off to DeSico. DeSico bounces outside to the left. DeSico up the left sideline as he is hit out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Tough to see here. As they mark him out of bounds at the Wayne Hills 37-yard line. As Mike Giampapa comes onto the field here at Old Tappan for the first time since suffering a major knee injury here back on October 20th, 2006. Andrew, how motivated do you think Giampapa is to come out here and play against his Old Tappan team after the injury last year?
I spoke to Mike in gym class, and he told me he's so motivated. This whole team's motivated. He wants it back. He wants revenge.
Handoff to Seco. Actually, Kale on the reverse. He bounces outside to the right as Kale takes it up to about the 46-yard line. So a 7-yard gain for the Patriots. So it'll be 2nd and short here for Wayne Hills.
And that's what the Patriots wanted to do, is do some trickery. Coach Olsen's going to throw in some trickery there, throw the Old Tappan defense off guard, and get a score early to maybe put a little push into Old Tappan to get them knowing that they're out of this game.
So Wayne Hills really made a statement here on defense, stopping Old Tappan. So it will be a great momentum shift if Wayne Hills come out here and put points on the board. Kale split left I formation. Giampapa. The tosses outside to DeSico. DeSico down the left sideline as DeSico powers his way ahead as he's marked out of bounds at about the 31-yard line.
Danny DeSico, oh my goodness. And you know what? Shame on Old Tappan, because last year, if you see the clips of last year's game, Jipu and Danny ran this all day and all night. They ran that option play like it was waking up in the morning and going to eat some breakfast. It was just that simple for them. And as you saw there, Danny just took the option toss from Jipu, took it down the field, and Wayne Hills is moving right now.
So 1st and 10 for the Patriots from the Knights' 31-yard line. And last year, when Giampapa got hurt, Kale came in, and Kale just ran all over this Old Tappan team. I formation for the Patriots, Roman in at fullback. DeSico in motion. 3 wide receivers split right. Giampapa back to pass. Competes it to Kale. Kale turns the corner at the right. He's down the sideline as they mark him out of bounds. Let's see where they spot this ball.
And you know what? I talked to Jerry also, Jeremiah Kale in gym class as well, really like a Wayne Hills football club gym class, David. I talked to him, and he was motivated to the point where he was saying, we're going to win 35-0. I mean, that's a bold statement, but you know what? They come out and play like they're doing right now. It can happen.
So 1st and 10 for the Patriots from the Knights' 20-yard line. Well, the main difference between the teams from this year, from last year to this year, is Wayne Hills lost 3 All-State linemen. Other than that, the main playmakers for both teams are mostly intact, except for Mo Gotu. Giampapa, handoff to Marson, up the middle, as Marson gets ahead to about the 12-yard line. A gain of about 8 for Wayne Hills, so it'll be 2nd and short, as Wayne Hills is inside the red zone.
Well, as I said last week, Dave, it's like their bread and butter, DeSico and Marston. They go either way, inside or outside, and they're going to pick up yards because they're just that good of a running back.
So it'll be 2nd and 4 for the Patriots from the Knights' 14-yard line. Kale split left I formation for the Patriots. Giampapa He's going to keep it. The option toss to DeSico, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Patriots! Danny DeSico, as he catches a pass, as there's a flag on the field. Let's see what the call is. As the Knights fall for the option toss once again. As they're calling illegal use of hands on the Patriots, the Wayne Hills faithful is not happy with the call.
Yeah, that's coming back, and I don't know. I mean, I guess they said illegal block in the back. I'm not sure what the call was, but that's absolutely absurd. I mean, Danny was off into the races. There was no way he was going to be stopped either way. I don't know about that call, David.
The Tappan defense was totally fooled. I didn't see where they called the penalty, but the way Wayne Hills has moved the ball on this drive, they will definitely score soon. So 2nd and 5 for Wayne Hills from the 15-yard line. Morrison in the backfield as the handoffs to Morrison. Morrison spins around and eludes the tackle as Morrison gets a gain of about 2 on the play. So it'll be 3rd and short for the Patriots.
And you know what? This is what the Patriots want. They're in field goal range to begin with. So this is Tim Divers' territory, to say the least. But they definitely want to put the 6 on the board. They definitely want the touchdown, and it's going to be essential for them to, on this play particularly, to get into the end zone or at least get the first down, so it sets them up for a better opportunity of scoring.
Well, you definitely want to get into the end zone here because Tappan might be able to score a touchdown or 2 in this game. And Tim Divers, he missed from about 34 yards on an extra point after a penalty, so you don't know how far he could kick. Seco in motion. Giampapa back to pass, rolls out to his right as he is sacked in the backfield. Taken down by number 5, James Falkenstern. So it will be 4th and about 10 for the Patriots as Tim Divers is onto the field to kick a field goal. It will be about a 36-yard try. Divers has not attempted a field goal on the season. He is 21 for 22 on the season.
And
Giampapa to hold. 36-yard field goal on the way. The snap is good as the kick splits the uprights. Tim Divers, a 36-yard field goal as the Wayne Hills Patriots take a 3-0 lead.
And if that's an icebreaker, David, I don't know what else is. Oh my goodness, Timmy Divers. The kid has all the confidence in the world now. I give him credit because I talked to him the other day and I said, are you really that confident when you go out there to kick? Because you're pretty damn good at it. And he told me, you know what? I go out there and I focus on what the opportunity is, what the time is. You know, what does he have to do? And he kicks it right to the uprights. He does his job.
So in a pressure-packed situation here early in the first quarter, the Patriots tack 3 points on the board thanks to a 36-yard field goal by Tim Divers. And Tim Divers did not play last week. I believe he had an injured hamstring. So Mark Romeo did the kicking for the Patriots. So Tim Divers showing no signs of rust after a 2-week layoff. So with 5:26 here left in the first quarter, the Wayne Hills Patriots have a 3-0 lead here against Tappan.
And you know what? At least they got points on the board. That's very important because this team, you need to score against them. Otherwise, you're going to be in trouble because they got Jamie Rowe. And if they score, they're up 3-0 now. This could be the momentum booster that the Patriots needed.
Gayo to kick off for the Patriots. As the kick bounces about the 17-yard line, as Rowe misplays the ball, picks up about the 5-yard line, as Rowe runs it up the middle as he's taken down at about the 13-yard line. So Jamie Rowe makes a bad mistake on special teams as Tappan will be starting off deep in their own territory.
And that one took a Wayne Hills bounce on the turf here, and it just took that's what they needed. That's really all they needed there. It got right to the point where Rowe had to pick it up off the ground at about the 5-yard line, and by that time, all the Wayne Hills defenders were down there.
So even though Tappan gave up 3 points, they have to feel some sense of satisfaction because Wayne Hills in the red zone didn't score. As the handoffs to Rowe, as Rowe gets ahead, maybe 1 yard on the play, as the Wayne Hills defensive line did a great job stopping Jamie Rowe.
Oh, and right now, everything's working so far. Old Tappan can't seem to come up with a tactic to stop Wayne Hills. And they're on all cylinders, Wayne Hills, the defense and the offense. So they keep this up. It's 35-0. It sounds pretty nice.
Well, last year, Wayne Hills won 37-7 the second time these teams met, which was at Patriot Stadium in the first round of the Northland Group 3 playoffs. Second and about 10 for Old Tappan from their own 13-yard line. Wiggers in motion. Jansen rolls out to his right, eludes the tackle, as the pass is off the hands of number 22, Sam Massaro. So it will be 3rd and about 9 for Old Tappan from their own 13-yard line.
And this is what Old Tappan did not want to get themselves into, is into a situation where they're down 3-0 and they're down deep in their territory with a 3rd down and about 9. This is not what they wanted. They're putting themselves in a deeper hole than they expected.
Definitely, because the Wayne Hills defense does such a great job against the pass. If I'm Kyle Jansen here, I look to the side of the field where Jeremiah Kale is not standing, because Jeremiah Kale has proven throughout his 2 years as a cornerback that he's one of the top shutdown corners in North Jersey. Jansen, as the handoffs to the left side to Wiggers, as Wiggers takes up to about the 16-yard line, as Old Tappan will be forced to punt.
And right now, it's all Wayne Hills. They're getting the push on the defensive line that nobody expected, David. Nobody expected them to push that offensive line back like that. And so far in this game, they're getting that job done.
Well, everyone was calling out the defensive line all week, saying that, oh, they can't stop Jamie Rowe, or they're not as good as last year's offensive line. Well, you have to admit, right now, they're definitely holding up their end of the bargain. As Wiggers back to punt.
And OT's going to take a timeout.
Brian Dunn wants to talk things over, not the kind of start he envisioned his team getting out to in the early going of this ball game.
And he's going to tell him, you need to get that punt down the sidelines and far, because you don't want to get the Seco or Marson return here, because we all know how deadly they are on the specials teams. Last year, Marson was phenomenal. I believe he led Passaic County in return touchdowns, or he was definitely up there. I don't remember the specific numbers he had, but it was unbelievable. Dunn's telling him, look, you got to kick the ball down the sides. You can't give him any opportunity to run, otherwise we're doomed.
If I'm Old Tappan, I would even take 10 yards less in terms of field position just to get the ball out of bounds. They'll be punting from the left hash mark. I don't know what kind of leg Wiggers has, but I would try to get the ball at least past the 40-yard line and out of bounds. But if they watched the tape from Ramapo a couple weeks ago, Wayne Hills had 3 or 4 punts that they returned deep into Ramapo territory. As Joe Volpe and Carlton Marson are back deep, standing at about midfield to receive the kick. Actually, I think it's the Seco. I couldn't see the number. It is the Seco. I couldn't see the number from here. High snap, as the kick by Wiggers is high and short. As Marson lets it bounce, it takes an Old Tappan bounce, as it will be down at about the 39-yard line. So Wayne Hills has good field position to start off their second drive.
But I definitely take that if I was Old Tappan. This is much better field position that they had hoped for that Wayne Hills would get than they would have if they had kicked it inside their own part of the field. But this is definitely, in Old Tappan at least, this is what they wanted.
Oh, definitely. And if you're Coach Brian Dunn, you have to have some type of confidence in your defense after stopping Wayne Hills on a key 3rd and short play in the red zone. So 3 minutes and 45 seconds here remaining in the first quarter. 3-0 Wayne Hills after a 36-yard field goal by Tim Davis. If you're just joining us, I'm David Suntup alongside Andrew Gayo, as Wayne Hills will start off their second drive on offense of the night from their own 39-yard line. As Giampapa gets the play from Coach Olson. Giampapa 11 for 19 last week for about 142 yards through touchdown strikes to Kyle Hannenberg and Brian Ogden. 1st and 10 for the Patriots from their own 39-yard line. I formation. As the handoffs to Kale. Kale gets gets it up to about the 40-yard line. A minimal game, if any, on the play. So Wayne Hills showing a lot of special formations here in the early going.
Oh yeah, they're definitely showing different formations, and they're switching it up a bit because that's what you got to do against Old Tappan. You got to switch it up to the point where they're not sure what's going to happen and what play they're going to run. They keep them on their toes, they're going to be fine.
I would definitely use the option toss again because Old Tappan was totally fooled both times that Wayne Hills used the option toss. I also looked to test their cornerbacks, see if Brian Ogden could possibly dim deep or Jeremiah Kyle, and also the bubble screen utilizing Dan DeSico in that role. Gian Papa tosses it to Kale as Kale bounces out to the outside. A great block by Carlton Marson as Kale still on his feet as he takes it out to about the 40-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and long for the Patriots.
That was a thunderous block there by Carlton. I mean, he went all out on that play. I'm not sure who he actually knocked out, but he definitely, that gave Jerry a couple extra yards because that guy was about to get to Jerry, but Carlton's block definitely spurred him to get a couple more.
So Andrew, I know it's 3rd and 10. Sometimes in the past, the Patriots have been able to pick up the first down situations like this with the run. Do you think they possibly go to play action here?
Oh, I mean, I think it's a possibility, definitely, to go to the run, but
Ogden and Kale split left. G-Papa back to pass. As the pass is deflected by number 5, James Falkenstern, as that easily could have been a pick for Old Tappan.
Definitely a bullet dodge there by Wayne Hills. Now they're just going to have to punt it and get him back in deep field position and kick it away from Rowe.
As Dan DeSico on for the first time tonight to punt it away for the Patriots. So the Patriots on their own 39-yard line will punt it away as Falkenstern and Scaduto are back deep to receive the kick for the Golden Knights. As a nice deep pump by DeSico towards the right sideline as it bounces out of bounds. Let's see where they spot this one. As they're marking it out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. So a short field for Old Tappan, as the Old Tappan defense, for the second time tonight, does a nice job against the Patriots.
So now this is, Old Tappan has nice field position now where they can work with Rowe, but Wayne Hills are going to have to keep their tight defense going in order to keep this going.
So 1st and 10 for Old Tappan from their own 43-yard line. As Rowe is in the backfield for the Golden Knights of Old Tappan. As the handoff is to Rowe up the middle as he gets taken down around the line of scrimmage. Great job by the interior of that Wayne Hills defensive line. Ryan Salerno and Bowen Jones just doing a fabulous job plugging those holes.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Ryan Salerno probably the wild card this year on defense. I mean, we all know who Matt DeBoe's wild card was. It was Brian Ogden, and he stepped up big this year. But Ryan Salerno definitely has done a nice job of filling up the gaps in the defensive line, as a sophomore especially.
2nd and 10 for Old Tappan. Keith Shin split right. As Jansen is sacked in the backfield by number 69, Bowen Jones, as Jansen nearly fumbled the ball. A fantastic play by Bowen Jones, and Bowen Jones has really stepped up this play tonight for the Patriots.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Bowen has stepped up his game. We got to look at the whole defensive side of the ball. That line, which has been pressured and criticized all week for their lack of intensity, or so call it, that they've really come up today. And I mean, I already knew they can play. I knew they were good. I knew they were legit. I didn't need to be told that they were lazy. They're fine. They come out tonight and they're fired up for the biggest game of the season for them so far.
Jones' first sack of the season. He had 8 tackles last week at Mawa. 3rd and 17 from the Knights' 36-yard line. Rowe in the backfield. Jansen back to pass, getting pressure by Salerno as the pass is dropped. Incomplete, intended for number 22, Sam Massaro. As Old Tappan will be forced to punt. So a huge victory for the Wayne Hills defense after Old Tappan had great field position to start off this drive.
Oh, absolutely. The defense really stepped it up to the point where they got really intense, and I don't think Old Tappan's ready for it. I really don't think Rowe is ready to see this kind of defense out of the Wayne Hills Patriots.
especially in the interior, Rowe really has to make some adjustments and try to run to the outside. As Wiggers, a nice deep punt, handed by DeSico about the 35-yard line. DeSico gets a great block from Marson as DeSico's across midfield to about the 50-yard line. So great field position for the Patriots to start off their third drive.
And this is where the Patriots want out of their offense with 20 seconds remaining here in the first quarter, maybe to get themselves a touchdown on the board to put the lead up to at least 10-0 going into the second quarter.
So Andrew, if you're Coach Olsen, you didn't get a touchdown in either of your first two drives, what adjustments do you make on the third drive?
Oh, I think you still got to switch it up a little bit. You got to run the ball a little bit. You got to pass the ball a little bit. Sets up the play action. Whatever you do, it's going to set it up.
I formation, KO in motion, Roman and DeSico in the backfield. Hand off to DeSico as DeSico dives ahead to about the 47-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 8 for the Patriots from about the Knights' 48-yard line. As it looks like Wayne Hills will just let this clock tick down as they will switch sides of the field, as this is the end of the first quarter here at Tappan Stadium. The Wayne Hills Patriots have a 3-0 advantage over the Golden Knights of Tappan. Andrew, what were your thoughts on the first quarter of action?
I think both teams came out really intense for this game and really fired up, and it showed both defenses looked pretty solid on both teams. But you know what? What it came down to is Wayne Hills drove the ball as far down so they can get some points on the board. And Tim Divers came up to the moment with an answer, and he caught a field goal for them, which leaves them with a 3-0 lead heading into the second quarter.
What I think Wayne Hills has to do on offense is to try to get DeSico and Marson out in the flat, make the linebackers tackle DeSico and Marson in the open field. But especially with the option toss, Wayne Hills was really doing a nice job of that. DeSico was getting huge gains on the option toss. But on the second drive, Wayne Hills went away from that. I think maybe they tried a little too much trickery with Jeremiah Kale. But let's see what the Patriots decide to do here. As both teams get on the field for the start of the second quarter.
As we begin the second quarter, Wayne Hill.
Dave, you got to move your books.
Knights, 48-yard line, 2nd and 8.
So 2nd and 8 for the Patriots.
Gene Papa calling the signals.
As the toss is to DeSico. DeSico breaks a tackle and gets up to about the 44-yard line. So it'll be about 3rd and 4 for the Patriots.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, David, this is really imperative for them to get a first down here, I believe, just so they can put themselves in a position to win. That's really what it comes down to, David. They put themselves in a position to get into the end zone. They'll be in good shape.
They definitely need more points on the board because Tappan has scored 159 points this season.
Let's go, Hill!
So 3rd and 4 for the Patriots from the Knights' 44-yard line. Marson in the backfield. As a handoff to Marson up the middle. As it depends where they spot the ball. It looks like Marson got enough for the first down.
And he did. He got the first down.
As Carlton Marson moves the chains, a huge 3rd down conversion for the Patriots. 1st and 10 for Wayne Hills from Tappan's 44-yard line.
And this is what the Patriots want to do. They need to get first downs and wear down Tappan's D. They wear down the Tappan defense, they're going to be in good shape.
Field position and time possession, 2 key statistics in this game. If Wayne Hills could run the ball and take seconds off this clock and really control the tempo of this game, it will really wear down this Tappan defense. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. I formation. Marson, this is going in the backfield. Gene Papa fixing up to Marson. Throws it out to the left side to Kale. As Kale is taken down for a 2-yard loss.
And they've really settled for that in the early going tonight, David. They settled for that quick screen pass to Gayo, and which I've never really seen them do consistently, but tonight seems like they've been doing that more often than not.
Well, Gayo's really not getting the blocking here in order to get a valuable gain, but Wayne Hills, they have to change it up. The screen pass is just not working here. I would try going deep down the field, utilize the speed of Kyle and Ogden, because Giampapa has really shown this season that he could throw the long ball. In each of the first 4 games, he has completed a pass of over 30 yards. 2nd and 12 for the Patriots from Oltapan's 42-yard line. Giampapa, the option toss to DeSico, as DeSico is taken down at about the 47-yard as a flag comes down. Let's see what the call is.
Late hit, David. Late hit. Seco got hit late after the play was over, so that's going to cost him a lot of yards, and it's going to give him better field position for the Patriots. See, you can't have that if you're Oltapan.
That's at least a 10-yard penalty in favor of the Patriots, as Tyler Gallo just committed a terrible mistake for Oltapan.
Gallo actually plays baseball also for the Golden Knights, a 3-year varsity player for this team. But no, I thought he would use more intelligence than that to put himself in that position to commit a foul like that and cost your team yards, valuable yards, especially against Wayne Hills.
As it'll be 3rd and 2 for Wayne Hills from Oltapan's 32-yard line. It's a bad mistake to make anytime, but when you shut down Wayne Hills on 2 consecutive plays and they were facing 3rd long, it's an awful penalty. As Coach Olsen has a variety of options here on 3rd and 2 on Oltapan's 32-yard line. As let's see what the refs are going over. As the refs huddle on the right side of the field, not sure what they're discussing. And while I have a moment, I'd like to give you tonight's trivia question, which is brought to you by Wayne Hills High School. Study hard and get good grades. And the question is, when was the last time the Wayne Hills Patriots lost to the Golden Knights of Oltapan? Answer coming up shortly.
It's been a while, David. We'll say that, at least.
This is the one hint I will give you. Andrew and I did not exist on the face of the earth the last time Wayne Hills lost to Oltapan.
Or our cameraman, Brian Rossman, for that matter.
3rd and 2 for Wayne Hills from the Knights' 32-yard line. DeSico in the backfield. Hand off to DeSico. As DeSico is tackled by a host of Knights.
Another flag on the play. I'm not exactly sure what the call is going to be.
Well, let's see what the call is, but DeSico is short of the first down, as they're going to call it on Wayne Hills. Illegal use of hands, the 2nd illegal use of hands penalty on the Patriots tonight.
So that will give them 4th down, I believe. Or no, I think they redo the down.
Well, if they redo the down, Wayne Hills catches a break. But it is a 10-yard penalty.
Still 2nd down now and 14 for the Patriots. It was 2nd down before, David.
Oh, I thought it was 3rd down.
No, it was 2nd down.
Oh, okay, I guess they repeated the down after the penalty when DeSico was tackled for a loss. As the scoreboard is messed up, so I believe it's 2nd and 14 for Wayne Hills from Oltapan's 44-yard line. Giampapa back to pass. As the pass is complete to Kyle Hannenberg. As Hannenberg gets up to about the 25-yard line. A 19-yard strike from Mike Giampapa to Kyle Hannenberg as the Patriots get a 1st down.
And that's a huge 1st down because now the Patriots have a lot more room to work with in Oltapan's side of the field. So now once they get into the end zone, it's gonna be easier for them to get into the end zone from this close as to where they were before.
Kyle Hannenberg caught a 27-yard touchdown pass from Mike Giampapa right down the middle of the field. So the Patriots could really get him involved in the game. It will be huge. Giampapa, hand off Marson. Marson makes a nice cut. As Marson gets a gain of about 2 or 3 on the play. It will be about 2nd and 7 for Wayne Hills from the 23-yard line of Oltapan.
And right now I say you grind the ball. You keep grinding the ball up the middle, wear down the defensive line, and maybe even put yourself, obviously you want to get the touchdown, but put yourself in a position where the field goal is an option as well.
I talked to Dan DeCicco earlier this week. He said that the Patriots are really looking to take it slow, get about 3 yards here, 4 yards there, and really try to tire out this Ultapan defense. DeCicco in motion out to your left side of the screen. As the pass is complete to Gayo, as Gayo is taken down at about the 25-yard line for a loss, as that pass was almost picked off. A very dangerous pass there by Mike Giampapa.
Extremely dangerous, almost intercepted. I mean, that one could have gone all the way back, but Gayo actually hung on to it and then even had the moxie to go and take a couple of yards after getting hit. So that was really a failure dodged by the Patriots.
That might be one of the biggest plays Wayne Hills have had all night, because if that was a pick six there for Ultapan, we would have given the Golden Knights so much momentum. So 7 minutes and 23 seconds here remaining in the second quarter. 3rd and 10 for the Patriots from the Knights' 26-yard line. Ogden split right for the Patriots. Marston in the backfield. DeCicco in motion. Giampapa rolls out to his right, looks down the field as the pass is complete by Jeremiah Gayo down the middle of the field. So it's very close to the first down marker. So it'll be 4th and 2 for the Patriots. Let's see what Coach Olsen decides to do here. As it looks like the offense is staying on the field.
No, I mean, they're gonna go jumbo set. They're going jumbo set here as Nick Tuminello, Mike Roman, and Brian Dickman have gone out there. They're going jumbo set, Dave.
Well, I would definitely make the Ultapan defense stop Dan DeCicco or Carlton Marston, because in a 4th and 1 situation, they're very hard to stop. 4th and 1 for the Patriots on the Knights' 17-yard line. Jumbo set here. Hannenberg, Roman, and DeCicco in the backfield as Giampapa calls a timeout. As Coach Olsen wants to talk it over with his offense on this huge 4th and 1 play in the red zone. While we have a moment, I'd like to give you the answer to tonight's trivia question, which is brought to you by Wayne Hills High School. Study hard and get good grades. The question was, when was the last time the Wayne Hills Patriots were defeated by the Golden Knights of Ultapan? If you said 1988, you are correct.
David, it's been a while. I mean, 19 years and counting. Right now, Wayne Hills is up 3-0, and they're driving the ball. I mean, they keep pushing the ball into Ultapan's zone, and they keep pushing the ball. They can't be stopped.
As Wayne Hills, as you said, Andrew, doing a nice job on this drive, pushing the ball against this Golden Knights defense, really wearing them down and having a nice long drive here. As Wayne Hills has had the ball since 30 seconds were left in the first quarter, as there are 6 minutes and 10 seconds here remaining in the second quarter. Wayne Hills defeating Ultapan 3-0. 4th and 1 from the Knights' 17-yard line. I formation, Gayo in motion to his left. Hand off to DeCicco as DeCicco dives ahead for the first down. DeCicco, a huge conversion on 4th down as the Patriots keep the drive alive.
And they went quick count there. I mean, they busted it. They went up the middle really fast just to get the first down, and they didn't really give Ultapan any time to think about what to do.
As Brian Dickman stays in the game for the Patriots. Nice job there by Zach Doyes, among others, really paving the way for DeCicco to pick up that first down. 1st and 10 for the Patriots from the Knights' 13-yard line. Gayo split right. 5 minutes and 44 seconds here remaining in the first half of action. DeCicco in the backfield. Giampapa, play action, goes to the end zone, complete to Jeremiah Gayo. Touchdown, Patriots! A 13-yard touchdown from Mike Giampapa to Jeremiah Gayo as the Patriots take a 9-0 lead.
And that's really, oh my goodness, David, that's the momentum the Patriots want. They finally get themselves a touchdown to get themselves an even bigger lead than what they have. And it was perfect. Giampapa to Gayo. Sounds like an accounting firm. Beautiful job there. So now the Patriots, Tim Divers will make it 10-0 if he converts the kick.
Like I said before, Wayne Hills really had to move the ball down the field as the kick by Divers splits the uprights as the Patriots take a 10-0 lead. Tim Divers now 22 for 23 on extra points this season. But Ultapan is proving so far in the first half that they cannot cover the Patriots vertically down the field.
Oh, absolutely. It's showing them that Old Tappan may have been a little overhyped, David. They can't handle this adversity in the beginning. I mean, they came out really pumped, and from what I've heard, a lot of them have been talking a lot of trash, saying how they can keep up with this Wayne Hills team and possibly beat him, but I don't see it right now.
I don't see it either, especially on the offensive side of the ball for Old Tappan, because Jamie Rowe has had no holes to run through tonight. Kudos to the Wayne Hills offensive line. If Brian Dunn can't find any offensive plays in his bag of tricks, this is going to be a long rest of the night for the Golden Knights. As Jeremiah Kyle kick off for the Patriots, as Caduto and Rowe back deep to receive the kick for Old Tappan, as that drive took 10 minutes off the clock. A great job by the Patriots offense. Rowe doing a nice job in time of possession. As Kyle kick off for the Patriots, as the kick's received by Scaduto about the 10-yard line. Scaduto up the middle of the field, bounces it out to the left, breaks the tackle from Kirk as he's tackled by Matt Rubin, among others for the Patriots. Matt Rubin and Mike Waller in on the tackle for the Patriots.
And it gave them what they wanted. I mean, they went right in there, and they actually got a decent return off, but the tackling unit got right there, and they gang tackle very well. That's what the Patriots' specialty is, gang tackling, especially on the special teams side of the ball.
So Old Tappan starts off this drive from about their own 31-yard line. Andrew, do you think this offense will be a little rusty considering they haven't been on the field in 10 minutes of game time?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think it's going to affect their play greatly.
Jansen rolls out to his right, looks down the field as the pass is complete to Wiggins. As Wiggins gets down to about the 48-yard line, a 16-yard gain for Sean Wiggers, excuse me.
And no, I mean, Wiggins right there just had a speed burst and was breaking tackles left and right to get to the spot where he is. And that's what the Patriots cannot have happen. They can't have Old Tappan get themselves back in this game. Old Tappan gets themselves back in this with a touchdown. It's like that touchdown never happened.
Well, the best thing for Old Tappan would be to score a touchdown right before the end of the half. Rowe in motion as Rowe takes the handoff. As Rowe gets a gain of maybe a yard on the play.
And definitely, I mean, it's essential. They got to hold them, David. They got to keep holding them. They can't put themselves in field position or field goal position to get themselves into the end zone. They give them field goal position. Keishel Shin can kick. We all know that. But if they hold them, they'll be in much better shape.
Shin hit a 27-yard field goal near the end of the fourth quarter last year in Wayne Hills' 21-10 victory here at Old Tappan. As last year, Old Tappan lost a heartbreaker here, down 14-10 to Seco through, I believe, a 34-yard touchdown pass to Mike Fulham to really put the nail in the coffin on the Golden Knights. 2nd and 10 from the Knights' 48-yard line. Rowe in the backfield. Jansen back to pass. Looks down the middle of the field as the pass is complete to Scaduto. Scaduto to the 5. Touchdown, Golden Knights. A 52-yard touchdown pass as Scaduto just ran down the middle of the field uncovered as the Knights get on the board. 10-6 Patriots.
Someone definitely missed an assignment there, David. I mean, I think a blind person could have figured that one out because there really was nobody in the vicinity of him right there. Jansen let off a beautiful pass right down the middle, but nobody was there to defend the pass. Maybe miscommunication, I'm not sure, but the Patriots can't have that happen.
Well, Ramapo almost got a touchdown against Wayne Hills. Actually, Ramapo's touchdown drive as Old Tappan had a very unique formation on their extra point. I'll get back to my story after this extra point. Keishel Shin on for the extra point. Low snap as the kick splits the uprights as Shin converts on the extra point as the Patriots lead cut to 10-7. Back to what I was saying about Ramapo. Andrew Weiss threw a pass down the middle of the field for a huge gain, and Ramapo would have had a touchdown, but the receiver fell down at about the 2-yard line. So Wayne Hills has shown a little bit of vulnerability deep down the middle of the field.
Especially though with missed assignments like that. I mean, you can't just leave a guy uncovered like that. Otherwise, it's just going to hurt you even more. You can't give up that deep of a pass to that good of a team like Old Tappan.
And Jansen, through about 2.5 games against this Wayne Hills team, really did nothing in the air for Old Tappan. It was basically all Gotuk and Rowe. And Rowe has had a very pedestrian night here at Old Tappan. And you would think that if Wayne Hills is able to shut down Rowe, that they would definitely be shutting out Tappan, but that's not the case. Not after that long touchdown pass by Jansen. As Jansen threw for 68 yards on that drive alone. A very quick drive for the Golden Knights.
What do you call it, Stratomatic football?
But Wayne Hill still has 4 minutes and 1 second to work with here to try to get some more points on the board before the first half ends. But also, Wayne Hills, they did defer to start the game, so they will get the ball back to start off the second half of action. As Shin to kick off for the Golden Knights. DeSico and Marston back deep for the Patriots. A squib kick by Shin as it's picked up by Gayo. Gayo scampers ahead for a gain of about 3 to 4 yards. As the Patriots will take over from about their own 39-yard line.
And I can
actually closer to the 40-yard line.
David, I can guarantee you something that will never happen. What just happened for the rest of the year? You will never see the Patriots give up another pass play like that, because I'm sure Coach Olsen will go back and make sure that it never happens again.
I'm not sure who was covering Scaduto on that play. It might have been the safety Carlton Marston. It might have been one of the linebackers. I'm not sure whose assignment that was. But I know the Patriots will tinker up that defense. I formation for the Patriots. Papa, handoff to Marston. Marston up the middle for a gain of about 4 yards. Carlton Marston really doing a nice job running the ball for the Patriots tonight, especially up the middle of the line.
Oh, definitely. I mean, Carlton, he's getting a lot of pushing up the middle. That defensive line is huge, but you know what? He keeps pushing himself forward to enable himself to get positive yardage and put his team in a better position to get the first down.
As Paul Drake, Zach Doyes, and Bowen Jones just doing a great job in the interior of the offensive line. Really doing a great job pushing back this big Old Tappan defensive line. 2nd and 6 for the Patriots. DeSico in motion to your left. Papa, handoff Marston. Marston, as he tries to elude a tackler. As Marston, let's see if they give him forward progress. As they will give him forward progress, a game about 2. So it'll be 3rd and 3 for the Patriots from about their own 47-yard line. As just under 3 minutes here remaining in the first half of action. 10-7 Wayne Hills.
I mean, he kept pushing himself there, Carlton, trying to elude himself free because his leg was being wrapped up there. But he tried to keep moving to get himself more field position. So he's trying to get the dirty little yards. You know, he's trying to get the tough yards, I guess you could say.
So 3rd and 3 for the Patriots. Let's see if they use play action. Well, Messenger Papa will use a timeout before he thinks about using play action, as Wayne Hills will burn their second timeout of the first half. 2 minutes and 24 seconds here remaining in the first half of action.
Yeah, I mean, this is key, David. They need to at least get themselves up to a point where they can get themselves the first down, and if they can't get the first down, at least get the ball deep enough into Old Tappan's zone to put themselves in not good field position for the Golden Knights.
Well, I'm sure Coach Olsen is definitely playing for a touchdown here. You can't be comfortable with a 3-point lead against anyone, especially a team like Old Tappan, which has shown a knack to score points this season. But if he could really get the ball into the red zone, because Tim Divers kicked a 36-yard field goal, I don't know if he has range beyond 40 yards. So Wayne Hills would probably have to get the ball to about at least the 20-yard line in order to attempt a field goal. As they have 2 minutes and 24 seconds here to try to put some points up on the board. A big 3rd down and 3 coming up for the Patriots as Coach Olsen is walking off the field. 3rd and 3 for the Patriots. I formation. Ogden and Gayo split left. DeSico in the backfield. Gayo in motion. Hand off to DeSico as DeSico is stuffed at the line of scrimmage by a host of blue jerseys, as it will be about 4th and 4 for the Patriots, as DeSico will have to punt for Wayne Hills.
And it's just not working, David. Right now, the defensive line of Old Tappan really is just dominating. They keep pushing the offensive line of the Patriots back, and they're not giving themselves an opportunity to run the ball to their efficiency, because we all know Danny and Carlton can run the ball very well, but they're not getting themselves They're not putting themselves in a position where they can succeed.
Snap is good. A nice high deep pump by DeSico as DeSico gets the punt out of bounds as they will mark it out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. So Old Tappan has a minute and 43 seconds here left in the first half to try to tack on some points. But on that third down play, I probably would have tried play action because it was working there for the Patriots, especially on that touchdown drive. I might have got to Kyle Hannenberg. I would look for Hannenberg, Ogden, or Kale. But I definitely would have tried to get a gain of about maybe 10 yards through the air. As it will be 1st and 10 for Old Tappan from their own 34-yard line. Rowe in the backfield, Scaduto split left. As Jansen slips up as he gets the handoff to number 27, Chris Martinez. As Old Tappan gets a gain of about 1 to 2 yards on the play. As Martinez, only a sophomore for Old Tappan, as him, Wiggers, and Rowe get a majority of the handoffs. Actually, a loss on the play for Martinez, a 4-yard loss, excuse me. It's kind of tough to see here because these stands are not up that high.
Let's go defense!
As Old Tappan still has 2 timeouts remaining here in the first half. As the clock's running, just over a minute here left in the first half. Old Tappan's really going to have to bring out their no-huddle offense here. Martinez in motion. Martinez, as the handoff is to Rowe, as Martinez ran around the right but did not get the ball. As Rowe, maybe a loss of 1 on the play. If he's lucky, he got back to the line of scrimmage, but they're going to call him down at about the 29-yard line. So 3rd and 15 for Old Tappan. If I'm Coach Brian Dunn, I would probably take a knee here and go into the locker room down 10-7.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I take it because they don't want to make a mistake. They can't afford to give up more points to go have a bigger deficit, especially against the Patriots. You never want to give up more points. So you're down 3 at halftime. I take it.
So 3rd and 16 for Old Tappan. 10 seconds here left in the first half. As Jansen hands it off to number 3, Sean Wiggers, as Wiggers takes it to the outside, maybe a yard or 2 on the play. As the end of the first half here at Old Tappan Stadium, the Wayne Hills Patriots are defeating the Golden Knights of Old Tappan 10-7. Andrew, what were your thoughts on the first half of action?
As there's a flag thrown on the field. What is going on, David?
As Hannenberg and Gallo were exchanging some words, as Gallo took off his helmet. I believe you're not allowed to take off your helmet while you're on the field. I don't know if that's the penalty. I would assume it's for some taunting. As Gallo already had a costly penalty on the driver, Wayne Hill scored their touchdown.
Yeah, not exactly sure what the heck was going on. But anyway, my thoughts on the first half, David. These two teams came out and they battled. They battled to the point where, you know, both teams were intense and they each put themselves in positions to win this game. But their defensive just came out more efficiently than their offenses, except for the one slip up by the Patriots on that touchdown throw. That was basically it. I mean, everything else was spotless. Their defense was looking pretty good, especially the defensive line. But in order for the Patriots to win this game, they're going to have to come out in the second half and play a little more tougher on the defensive side.
Well, the first half went the way Wayne Hills wanted to, except for the one play, the 52-yard touchdown pass to Scaduto. Wayne Hills did a great job controlling the tempo of this game, especially in the second quarter. They had a drive that was over 10 minutes, the touchdown drive, where GM Pop threw the 13-yard touchdown pass to Jeremiah Kale. But the defensive line has done a fantastic job, and Jamie Rowe has had a very pedestrian night here at Old Tappan. As the end of the first half here at Old Tappan Stadium, the Wayne Hills Patriots are defeating the Golden Knights of Old Tappan 10-7. We will be right back for the second half of action shortly. Welcome back here to Old Tappan Stadium for the second half of action, where your Wayne Hills Patriots are defeating the Golden Knights of Old Tappan 10-7. I'm David Suntup alongside Andrew Gayo. So Andrew, what do the Patriots have to do over the last 24 minutes to hold on and beat the Golden Knights of Old Tappan.
Well, quite frankly, David, it's a game of field position, and this is the game in which they have to come out right now and control the ball for the whole half. They can't give Old Tappan any opportunity to get into the end zone or put points on the board, because if they do, they're just going to shoot themselves in the foot and give the Old Tappan more hope in getting a win.
I totally agree with you, Andrew. You could have summed it up any better. Wayne Hills in the first half, they had a 10-minute drive on offense, capped off by the touchdown pass to Gayo. If they could come out here in the second half, really pound the ball to Seco and Marson, wear out the Old Tappan defense, and really control time possession, it will be huge here for Wayne Hills, especially since Jamie Rowe has not been able to get anything going on the ground for this Old Tappan offense.
David, the thing is, though, this special teams for the Patriots, it has been, I don't want to say lackluster on the kickoffs, but when they've been kicking off, Old Tappan's been getting good field position, which led actually to their one drive when DeSico punted it out of bounds. They had that bomb for the touchdown. So special teams definitely has to step it up indeed in the second half in order for the Patriots to become successful winners in this game. Especially
on the coverage on the kick returns, because on 2 of the 3 kickoff returns by Old Tappan, their starting position was around the 35-36 yard line, except for the one kickoff return where Rowe misplayed the bounce on the kick by Gayo. As Kisho Shin to kick off for the Golden Knights of Old Tappan, as we are set to get the second half of action here underway at Old Tappan Stadium. As Marson and DeSico are sitting at about the 30-yard line, Wayne Hills expecting a squib kick here. Let's see what Shin does. As the Old Tappan faithful start trying to jump start their Golden Knights. As actually number 4, Mike O'Reilly, the kick. As he kicks it short. Handled by DeSico. DeSico drops the ball but picks it up. DeSico down the middle, breaks a couple tackles as DeSico's across midfield to about the 47-yard line. Great field position for the Wayne Hills Patriots.
Luckily, the ball took a bounce right back into DeSico's arms, because after that fumble, I even got a little scared that there could have been trouble there, but he recovered, brought it to about the 48-yard line of Old Tappan, and here we go. They're ready to set up.
So great field position here for the Patriots after the short kick by O'Reilly and the great return by DeSico. As Gianpapa leads his troops out to the field for their first offensive drive of the second half.
Official timeout on the field.
As there's a timeout on the field. I think they charged it to the Patriots. Is that correct, Andrew?
I don't think either team took a timeout.
I didn't think so either, but on the scoreboard it says they only have one timeout.
No, it says Old Tappan only has one timeout. But that can't be right, because I think they just have not fixed that on the scoreboard.
As I formation here for the Patriots, Gayo and Ogden split right. Gianpapa back to pass. As the pass is complete to Brian Ogden out to the outside. As Ogden will get forward progress. Let's see where they mark it.
He's caught by number 5, Brian Ogden.
Yeah,
As a 5-yard catch for Brian Ogden. It'll be 2nd and 5 from about the 43-yard line.
Yeah, there must be something wrong with the scoreboard, because it's indicating that Old Tappan only has one timeout left. And that's just not possible. So, not exactly sure, but needless to say, we will play on.
So it'll be 2nd and about 6 here for the Patriots from the Knights' 44-yard line. Ogden split left. DeSico on the backfield. As a toss is to DeSico. DeSico tries to bounce it out to the outside as he is wrestled down to the ground. Great job by, I believe, number 15, Steven Martinez. Does a great job wrestling DeSico down to the turf. So it will be about 3rd and about 8 or 9. Actually, it will be about 3rd and 10 for the Patriots as they're backed up to the Knights' 48-yard line. So a huge play here early in the second half that could really determine field position and time of possession.
No, definitely, David. I mean, when you get 3rd and 3, this is huge for the Patriots in order to convert, to get themselves a first down, and to really, you want ball control in the second half.
I formation, DeSico. Kale's going to throw it. Kale throws it down the field as the pass is incomplete, almost intercepted by Steven Martinez. The Patriots have at least 3 players on their offense that are capable of delivering the deep ball, as the pass by Kale almost picked off as Brian Ogden was double covered there on that play.
Trying to run a play similar to last year when DeSico took the toss from Jeremiah Kale and threw a touchdown to Mike Fulham. As you saw there, Jipu threw it to Kale, who then tried to complete it to Ogden, but it fell incomplete.
As DeSico out to punt, a nice deep punt, fielded by Falkenstern. Falkenstern gets a block, cuts it to the left side of the field as he's taken down at about the 23-yard line.
Good coverage there by Tim Waller, as another tackle there made by him, who he just makes tackles, Dave. I mean, it's that simple. He's the one that goes out there consistently and tackles people and wraps them up.
Tim Waller, a tackling machine for the Wayne Hills Patriots, both on special teams and on defense. Over 80 tackles last season as a junior, and this year he's come back even better. So 1st and 10 for the Golden Knights from their own 23-yard line. Row in the backfield, Scaduto split right. Jansen back to pass, looks over the middle of the field by Scaduto, and Scaduto gets absolutely smoked by Carlton Marson in the middle of the field. What a thunderous hit by Marson.
And Carlton, man, this year has really come up delivering big hits in every game that he's played in. I mean, you could hear that one up here, Dave, and we don't even have HD sound or technology. That was loud.
All I could say is Scaduto is going to need to have an ice pack on him tomorrow morning when he wakes up, because he will feel that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, that
2nd and 10 for the Knights from their own 23-yard line. Handoff to Rowe to the left side. Rowe makes a spin move as Rowe takes it up to about the 27-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, this is huge, David. If they keep containing Rowe like they have, I mean, it's all Wayne Hills. You bottle up Rowe, and right now, that's what they're doing. They're going to win the game.
Rowe has not had a rush for more than 10 yards tonight. Just a sensational job by this Wayne Hills defense, especially that defensive line. 3rd and 7 here for the Golden Knights from their own 26-yard line as the Wayne Hills faithful starts to make some noise for their Patriots. Scaduto split right, Rowe in the backfield, Jansen back to pass, pump fakes, goes deep down the middle of the field, as this is intercepted by Jeremiah Kale, as Kale slips at about the 38-yard line, as Jeremiah Kale gets his 3rd interception in the last 2 weeks. A huge play on defense for Wayne Hills, as Tappan fails to convert on 3rd down as they throw a flag. Let's see who the flag is on, as they're calling it on Wayne Hills, but I think it might have been after the interception.
I think it should be after. Well,
I'm not sure what is going on, David. I mean, a lot of penalties coming after plays tonight. A little suspicious about that.
Well, there's probably a lot of jawing between these two teams, because Tappan last year, they were devastated when they lost those 2 games to Wayne Hills.
that's what they're doing. It was before.
So the interception will stand, but Wayne Hills will be backed up at least 10 yards. Let's see where they start off this drive. Zach Doyas is back far for the Patriots. So it's a 15-yard penalty for Wayne Hills, as Wayne Hills will get the ball at their own 23-yard line.
The interception was like a punt. It was like, yeah.
So this is basically a punt for Tappan. Besides interception, the 15-yard penalty really helps the Golden Knights in terms of field position, as the Patriots back on the field for their 2nd offensive drive of the 2nd half. 10-7 Patriots, 9:04 remaining in the 3rd quarter. I'm David Suntup alongside Andrew Gayo. I formation, Kyle split left. Giampapa, option toss outside to DeSico, as DeSico makes a move. Another flag comes down as the Seco is lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. Let's see who the flag is on.
It's really been flag frenzy, David. I mean, tonight, that's all that's been happening. I mean, you got to keep your emotions aside. This is a football game. You got to go out there and play football. You can't go out there and take these things personally. It's part of the game. You can't keep drawing back and forth and making stupid penalties that'll hurt your team in the long run.
Another penalty against Wayne Hills. Coach Olson cannot be happy with his team, especially after the interception where Wayne Hills really dodged the bullet on defense by stopping the Golden Knights of Old Tappan, as the Patriots will be backed up 10 yards, so 25 yards of penalties for the Patriots. I'm not sure if it's a loss of downs on the penalty as Giampapa trots back onto the field.
No, it's still first down, David. It'll be a redo.
So first and 10 for the Patriots. First and 20, excuse me. As the scoreboard is not helping me out here at Old Tappan. First and 20 for Wayne Hills from their own 13-yard line. So if Old Tappan can get a stop here, it would really help them out in terms of field position because they could get the ball back at around midfield.
No, definitely. I mean, they're really pinned far back. We all know Coach Olson. He knows how to get out of these situations very well, David.
Actually, it's first and 25. Giampapa back to pass. Pump fakes. He's going deep down the field, looking for Ogden as the pass is overthrown. Incomplete, intended for Brian Ogden, as Ogden was covered by Jamie Rowe.
Jipu had the right idea there, just that Jamie Rowe had good coverage and a little overthrown there, but they had the right idea to get themselves out of this muddle of a situation that they've been in. But I still think you got to hand the ball off. You run the ball, they're going to do well for themselves and get themselves in better position to get a first down.
Well, I probably would have run the ball on first down, tried to pick up 5 to 10 yards at least. I would have tried to take a chunk off. But the Patriots, I guess they're trying to surprise Old Tappan by throwing the deep ball. As Kyle Hamburg checks out of the game for Wayne Hills. Second and 25 for the Patriots from their own 13-yard line.
Cue.
As Volpe and Marson are split left, the Seco in motion. Flags are thrown. Could be a legal formation. Let's see what the call is.
And it's just been sloppy, David. I mean, they keep making these penalties and they're just shooting themselves in the foot. When you keep making penalties to the point where you're hurting your team's chances of getting good field position and actually taking away good stops on defense or good plays on offense, that's illegal procedures. Now it's second and 25. I mean, David, this is not good.
This is awful for the Patriots. 30 penalty yards on this drive. So they were supposed to have pretty good field position, starting off at their own 38-yard line. And now they're backed inside the 10-yard line. So it's second, and the scoreboard says 26, but it was first and 25 before, so it might be second and 30. I really have no clue what's going on because the scoreboard is not helping us out right now. Marson and Volpe split left. 5 wide receivers set here for Wayne Hills as it empties its backfield. Giampapa goes down the field. This pass is complete to Brian Ogden. Ogden makes a sensational catch at the 28-yard line. A 20-yard reception for Brian Ogden. So it'll be about 3rd and 10 for the Patriots.
That's acrobatics at its best, Dave. I mean, he went in there and he just made the big play. He went in there and he made the big play. He went up there and Ogden did so good to get up in the air and to make the catch and then come down and not fumble the ball off the turf. That was just amazing.
As Giampapa comes back onto the field, 3rd and 10 for the Patriots. Well, it says 3rd and 4 on the scoreboard. I think it was a little more than that. Kalen Ogden split left. Giampapa tosses it outside to DeSico. DeSico's going to throw it deep. DeSico to Ogden as the pass is incomplete over the head of Brian Ogden. As DeSico had Ogden down the field.
And he threw it, David, deep down the field. I mean, he was out of control right down the field. DeSico had a perfect pass, but just a little overthrown there, intended for Ogden. So Patriots almost got something going, but came up short.
If DeSico had a little more air under that pass, the Patriots probably would have had a touchdown with Ogden's speed. DeSico out to punt for the Patriots. Another flag on the play. But penalties really hurt Wayne Hills on that drive. They didn't commit all those penalties. They would still have the ball. Another illegal procedure penalty on the Patriots. So Wayne Hills will be backed up 5 yards again. 7 minutes and 39 seconds here remaining in the third quarter. 10-7 Patriots.
And they're gonna have to get a good punt off, David, because if they put Old Tappan in any field position to get a good time to get it into the end zone, they're gonna be put in a pretty bad situation and hurt themselves or tighten up on defense.
Snap is good. Nice high deep pump by DeSico. Handled by Scaduto about the 35-yard line. Scaduto will lose a couple of tacklers as Mike Rowe makes a key tackle on special teams around the 38-yard line.
And Mikey Roman there making a big play, getting him down as he was kept on getting bumped there. But once he finally wrapped him up, got him a key play to get him down. So now Old Tappan's field position is a little worse than what it could have been for the Patriots. A big bullet has been dodged.
Well, whenever you think of Dan DeSico, you think of the running back and the linebacker and the return man. You rarely think of the punter. And DeSico has just been a fabulous punter for this Wayne Hills team for the last 2 years. Scaduto split right, Rowe in the backfield. Handoff is to Rowe to the left side as Rowe cuts it inside and he gets it up to about the 45-yard line for a 5-yard gain. So this was one of Rowe's better carries of the night.
And believe it or not, it has been, David. I mean, he's been really off the whole night, whereas carries and yardage is concerned. And finally tonight, that last play, he gets a 5-yard gain, and people are kind of like, wow, he hasn't had one of those in a while, because Wayne Hills' defense has really done a great job of shutting him down.
Well, Rowe has to try to run it to the outside because he's been running up the middle and he's not been getting any type of gain. Jansen fakes the toss as he hands off to Rowe. Rowe, spin move as he breaks the tackle, takes it up to about the 47-yard line. Gain of about 8 on the play. So first down for Old Tappan as Rowe moves the chains.
So yeah, I mean, Rowe is doing a great job of moving the chains, and he's getting to the point where they're all depending on him. I mean, it really is all about him. He's doing that good of a job to help his team win. I mean, he's the only option they have, Dave. There really is nobody else on this team that can beat Wayne Hills, and Jamie Rowe's the only one
Hand
that
off
can.
to Rowe, up the middle, as Rowe trucks his way through for a gain of about 9 yards on the play. So if Old Tappan can really get Jamie Rowe in a rhythm here, it'll be key for the Golden Knights because they really need to control the clock here. It takes a chunk off this game clock and possibly get a touchdown.
I mean, that's the thing the Patriots don't want, David. They can't afford to have Old Tappan come in here and score. I mean, a field goal would be bad enough to tie it, especially with Keishal Shin. But if the Patriots could hold to a field goal, that'd be great.
Scaduto split left. Wiggers in motion as Rowe gets up about a gain of 1 on the play as Bowen Jones missed the initial tackle.
And a big third down, David. I mean, this is a huge third down as there was no gain on the play. So if they need to convert, Dave. They really have no choice.
3rd and 1 for Old Tappan. The Patriots have had some key stops tonight in 3rd and short situations for the Golden Knights. The handoff will definitely be to Rowe. I'd be shocked if Brian Dunn chose to do anything else.
Sorry, David. A pass would be very unorthodox.
Jumbo set here for the Knights. Jansen rolls out to his right. He's going deep down the field. His pass is incomplete. Intended for number 22, Sam Massaro. Andrew, I am just shocked at the play calling. Number 3, Sean Wiggers was wide open. I can't believe Jansen decided to go deep there.
Yeah, I was shocked, David. I mean, he had him wide open down the field, but if he also could have I thought Jansen had enough room to maybe tuck the ball and maybe, try to get the first down. It looked like he had room down the field, David, to get a couple yards to get the first down.
In a 3rd and 1 situation like that, you go for the safe options. I don't know what Jansen was thinking there. He had so many chances to pick up the first down. As Old Tappan's going for it, 4th and 1 from the Patriots' 38-yard line. Everyone's on their feet here at Old Tappan Stadium. Wingers in motion. Hand up to Rowe to the left side as he bulldozes his way for the first down. Jamie Rowe, a gain of about 4 on the play. First down for the Golden Knights.
And now 5 minutes left, David, in the third quarter. That's not what the Patriots wanted. Usually the Patriots are automatic on stopping fourth down conversions there, but Jamie Rowe just pushed it to the left side, and the kid's good, David. He's a Division I prospect, and the kid can run.
Well, he's definitely stepped up his game here in the second half. I'm sure he was absolutely disgusted with his performance in the first half. Now he envisioned coming into such a big game like this. But he's really carrying the load here for Old Tappan, especially on this drive. First and 10 for the Knights from the Patriots' 34-yard line. Handoff to Wiggers. Wiggers cuts it out to the left as he gets a gain of about 1 on the play. 1 or 2 yards on the play. Let's see where they mark it.
And David, I mean, the Patriots should be automatic, though, at defending the run here. I mean, they basically run the ball every single play, so I don't understand why it's so surprising to the Patriots when Old Tappan makes these big runs to the outside. They got to buckle down and stop the run because they know the pass is not coming.
Well, I think the Patriots were used to seeing Old Tappan run the ball up the middle, and now they're running it more to the left side of their offensive line, where I think Mike Hurley is the left tackle for the Golden Knights. So they're trying to use Hurley in order to pick up some key yards here on this drive. But maybe Waynos was really surprised when Old Tappan used play action on 3rd and 1. So maybe Waynos is a little out of sorts here on defense. 2nd and 8 for Old Tappan from the Patriots' 32-yard line. Hands off to Rowe up the middle as Rowe is wrapped up by a host of Patriots at about the 27-yard line.
And David, I mean, they keep moving the ball like this, they're going to get at least 3 points, pending, the hold, the snap, and all that. I mean, but the Patriots, this is not what they wanted, especially out of Old Tappan. They've put together a pretty long drive here right now to get themselves in a position to get points on the board.
Well, I think Old Tappan probably needs maybe about 7 to 8 more yards. I don't think they can kick a 44-yard field goal. 3rd and 3 for the Golden Knights from the Patriots' 27-yard line. Patriots stacking the box. Rowe in the backfield. As a handoff, it's to Jamie Rowe out to the right as Rowe is stuffed by Mike Roman and Ryan DiDerno. A huge play on defense for the Patriots on 3rd down. And now it's decision time for Brian Dunn and the Golden Knights of Old Tappan.
I mean, David, if I were Coach Brian Dunn, you're this far down there, you got to go for it. Don't you agree?
Well, that was a loss of about 2 on the play. It's about 4th and 5. A punt really doesn't do much good, especially if you kick it into the end zone. Then you only gain 9 net yards. It can't hurt to go for it here. You already converted once on 4th down. And Old Tappan's going for it here. Scadudo split left. 4th and 5 from the 29-yard line of the Patriots. Chance it back to pass. Server's left side of the field. As the pass is incomplete. Intended for number 27.
Another
as the flag is on the field.
Oh my goodness, David. These flags are coming out of nowhere.
As the pass was intended for Chris Martinez. Let's see who the penalty is on.
Way to go, Hill!
As the penalty is on Old Tappan. A great job there by the Wayne Hills defense stopping this Old Tappan drive.
Oh, absolutely. They buckled down when the time mattered, and right there, they stepped it up when they needed to, David. It's that simple. When the questions needed to be answered, they did it. And right now, they need to score. That's basically it. They need to score.
Well, a score here would really deflate Old Tappan's confidence. Old Tappan came out here, did a great job on defense, and had a great offensive drive until that last play, the last 2 plays where they couldn't convert on 3rd and 3 and 4th and 5. I formation here for the Patriots. Ogden split left, Kale split right. G Papa back to pass. As the pass is complete to Kale. Kale backs out to the right, trying to get some extra yardage as Kale steps out of bounds at the 40-yard line. So an 11-yard gain for the Patriots as they move the chains.
And I mean, Jipu has really been on all night, Dave, because it seems that Old Tappan has been able to contain the run for the most part, and Jipu has really been, stepping back there and getting off those shorter passes real quick, and he's doing a good job out of it.
Yeah, great job by Jipu. Short drops, looking for his receivers, and Kale is wide open there as Kale gets an 11-yard gain for the Patriots. G Papa has really been proficient the whole year and very accurate. He has not thrown an interception this season. So 1st and 10 for the Patriots from their own 40-yard line. Handoff to Marson. Marson up the right side of the line as Morrison scampers ahead to about the 48-yard line, a gain of 8 for the Patriots.
And a nice run there by Carlton. He basically busted up the middle, and Bowen Jones did a nice job of blocking. He followed Jones up the middle, and he found his way up for about an 8-yard gain. So that was a very nice job by the Patriots all around on the blocking and running side of the ball.
Morrison's really doing a great job pounding the ball through the interior of that defensive line for the Golden Knights. 2nd and 2 for the Patriots from their own 48-yard line. A minute and 38 seconds here remaining in the third quarter. 10-7 Patriots. Morrison in the backfield as Morrison gets the handoff, passes out to the right side as Morrison taken down around the line of scrimmage. Maybe a short gain on the play. So a big third down play here for the Patriots around midfield. Let's see what Coach Olson pulls out of his bag of tricks on this play.
David, you know what? From the looks of it, they're going to go trickery again. I mean, the last couple of plays, I've never seen so many wide receiver and running back tosses he's had tonight and then throwing the ball down the field. I haven't seen that at all this year. And finally, in this game today, I've seen DeSico drop back and throw the ball. I've seen Jeremiah drop back and throw the ball. So you could see it again, definitely.
Well, this is a huge play in the middle of the field. I think Coach Olson wants to move the chains. I think he'll be a little bit more careful here. I like to see DeSico out in the flat, bubble screen, get Jeremiah and Carlton out there blocking for him because some of these wide receivers and running backs can really block for the Patriots. As Coach Olson calls a timeout, as this is a huge third down play here for the Patriots. 41 seconds remaining in the third quarter. If you're just joining us, 10-7 Patriots. I'm David Suntup alongside Andrew Gayo. So the Patriots really have a lot of options here. You could run the ball with DeSico or Marson. You could throw it to Gayo, you could throw it to Ogden. You have Hannenberg, Roman if he's out there at fullback. So a lot of options here for the Patriots. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Olson decides to do. But last year in a key situation late in the fourth quarter, DeSico told Coach Olson, I want to throw the ball. Coach Olson trusted his playmaker in DeSico, and DeSico threw a 34-yard touchdown pass to Fulham. So Andrew, do you think Coach Olson would trust one of his playmakers in this situation if one of them comes up to him and says, Coach, I want to do this play, I want to make a play in this situation?
Well, I think it's going to be his decision overall. I mean, there's no question about it. I mean, no matter what the kid's going to tell him, he's going to go with what he's going to think. But you know what? I wouldn't be shocked if he goes trickery here because it worked last year on a third down. I mean, we all know that DeSico completed the pass to Fulham for the touchdown, basically ended the game, and all the hopes were rolled to pan. So we can definitely see that from the Patriots.
It might be a little risky in this situation, but I'd love to see a flea flicker because that play usually works a lot of the time. 31 for the Patriots from their own 49-yard line. 41 seconds here remaining in the third quarter. Jumbo say here for the Patriots. DeSico, Hannenberg, and Roman in the backfield. Jipu rolls out to his left as he is sacked in the backfield by Jack Korsgen and Dan Zanone.
I mean, that was a total breakdown, David. I mean, I don't know what the play was supposed to be. I mean, I guess it was supposed to be a quarterback keeper for Jipu, but the defense contained them that well, and really, Jipu did the right thing by taking the sack, because if he threw the ball there, it could have been easily intercepted, or he could have fumbled the ball.
Well, there were no receivers on the play. It was a jumbo set for the Patriots. So, Giapapa, I assume he wanted to bounce it out to the left side of the field, but no one was down there. So, a smart play by Giapapa, just take the sack. But I'm a little surprised by the play calling there. I thought DeSico would have been able to run the ball, or they would have tried to throw it to someone. As that is the end of the third quarter here at Otapan Stadium, as the Waynos Patriots are defeating the Golden Knights of Otapan 10-7. Andrew, what are your thoughts on the third quarter?
You know what? I'm not going to go out here and on a limb here and criticize anyone, but I really would not have called that play on third down, David. I don't know about you, but I would not have gone out there and called a quarterback keeper, because we know as stingy as their run defense has been Old Japan. I would have thrown the ball. That's really what I would have done.
I would have thrown the ball too. I would look for Jeremiah Cal on the flat, try to get a 3 to 4 yard gain and see if he could get any blockers downfield. But if you're going to run the ball with Gianpapa, I would have tried a quarterback sneak, because the Patriots have done a decent job getting some penetration against this defensive line. But to try to roll out to the outside, I just didn't see it coming from the Patriots. But Coach Olson, the track record speaks for itself. He's won state titles the last 3 years, 4 out of the last 5 years. So you have to trust his play calling in these types of situations. As the Seaco's back to punt for the Patriots as we are set to start the fourth quarter here at Old Tappan Stadium. 10-7 Patriots. If you're just joining us, I'm David Suntup alongside Andrew Gayo. Good snap. Nice deep kick by the Seaco. Handled by Falconstern, I believe, by Scaduto, excuse me, as Scaduto takes it up to about the 30-yard line.
And Walter Johnson just threw his hands up in excitement as he loved the coverage by his special teams right there. As you see him clapping on the field, I mean, Wally World, he was very happy with special teams, as he should be, because he pinned them back.
As Old Tappan doesn't have the type of field position that it has been used to having in this contest. If you're Old Tappan, though, you definitely have to have some confidence in offense after that last drive because they did a nice job moving the ball down the field.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they definitely have done a good job of moving down the field, but it's more important for them.
Jansen rolls out to his left, throws it down the field as it is almost intercepted off the hands of Sam Massaro, almost picked by Tim Waller. As Tim Waller is upset he was not able to pick up that pass. That was really a tough pass to pick up because Tim Waller was on the ground and that ball was way out of his reach.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Tim Waller, he actually leaned across his body to try to get the ball, but by that time, he was already on the ground and really had no choice, actually no chance to get it.
2nd and 10 for Old Tappan from their own 31-yard line. 11 minutes and 40 seconds here remaining in the fourth quarter. Scaduto split left for the Knights. Martinez in motion. As the handoff is to Rowe, as Rowe has a nice run up the middle. Nice job of Rowe to stay on his feet. A 6-yard gain for Rowe as he takes it up to about, let's see where they mark this, as they will mark Rowe down at about the 37-yard line, a gain of 6. So 3rd and 4 here for Old Tappan as Ryan Dodaro comes off the field for the Patriots.
And you know what, David? This is going to be a huge drive because it's going to tell whether Old Tappan can tie it or maybe get a touchdown.
Scaduto split left. Jansen rolls out to his left. Jansen looks down the field. Jansen's going to keep it himself as Jansen takes it across the 40-yard line as Jansen moves the chains for the Patriots.
See, I don't know why they did that earlier, David. They had the opportunity to do that, and he threw it away earlier in the game. The side was wide open, and he was able to get the first down. The Patriots need to defend that much better in order to win.
Well, he had a chance to do that on their last drive on a 3rd and 1 situation. He had a chance to run for the first down, either throw it to Falconstern, but he chose to go deep down the field, and the pass is incomplete. As Old Tappan did convert on 4th down on the play after, but that drive was stalled after the Patriots stopped them on 4th down. 1st and 10 for the Knights from the 47-yard line. Martinez in motion. Jansen back to pass as the pass is intercepted by Colton Marson. Marson takes it up to about the 45-yard line. A huge play there by Marson as once again the Golden Knights fail to move the ball down the field as Jansen just made a terrible throw into coverage.
What a killer there for the Golden Knights, David. That's what they least wanted to happen, and Jansen just threw it right into the arms of Carlton Marson. And worse than that, Carlton even ran the ball up for more yards, and now they have better field position to go on the offensive side of the ball.
The worst possible situation there for the Knights. The Knights had everything going for them. They just converted on 3rd and short. They had a first down. They moved the ball on the Patriots throughout the 3rd quarter. And then on 1st down, right into the hands of Carlton Marson. And besides the interception, the Patriots have great field position here. 10 minutes and 42 seconds here, remaining in the 4th quarter. I formation, Volpe in motion. DeSico in the backfield for the Patriots. Hand off to Seco. DeSico uses his blocking as he gets a gain of about 3 on the play.
Oh, David, I mean, that was huge. I mean, now all the momentum's in favor of Wayne Hills, and they're going to have so much more opportunity now to even capitalize and maybe score and take the life out of Old Tappan.
Tom Wayne Hills really look to run the ball here, use the tackles, try to bounce it out to the outside of the field. You really want to control time possession here. You have great field position. 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Try to take a good chunk off and score because it'll really deflate this Old Tappan team. 2nd and 7 for the Patriots from the Knights, 42-yard line. Jay Papa back to pass as the pass is complete to Joe Volpe, as Volpe does a nice job staying on his feet as he takes it out to about the 34-yard line. A key catch there by Joey Volpe, as I believe that will be a first down for the Patriots. Depends where they spot the ball.
I mean, that was a great throw by Jipu, but even a better catch by Joe Volpe to catch the ball and hang on to it and hold on to get the first down for the Patriots.
As there's an injury on the field, I believe it's Chris Scaduto, as he is down. Actually, it's not Scaduto, it's Sean Wiggers. Numbers a little hard to see from here. As Wiggers walks off the field, let's hope he's okay. It looks like a leg injury. He's having trouble walking. So 1st and 10 for the Patriots from the Knights' 34-yard line. A huge conversion there by Joey Volpe. 9 minutes and 50 seconds here remaining in the fourth quarter. 10-7 Patriots. So that field goal by Tim Divers, the 36-yard field goal in the first quarter, is really looming large for the Patriots.
Oh, absolutely, David. I mean, Divers' kick was humongous, and to get him on the board early and to keep him at 10-7 now, I mean, looking back on it, it was a great part of the game.
1st and 10 for the Patriots from the Knights' 34-yard line. Cal split right, as the handoff is to Marson, as Marson does a nice job staying on his feet and moving the pile, as Marson scampers to about the 29-yard line. Gain of 5 there for the Patriots.
Oh yeah, big gain there for Carleton. Now 2nd down. I mean, I still think they should hand the ball off here, and then on 3rd down maybe throw the ball, but they're doing a great job right now of what they're doing.
Well, definitely hand the ball off here. You want to keep the clock moving, take time off the clock so Old Tappan doesn't have a chance to add points. And then on 3rd down, maybe some play action and maybe go deep. G Papa, hand off to Seco. The Seco still on his feet as the Seco dives ahead to about the 10-yard line. A 19-yard run by Dane DeSico as the Patriots move the chains. Great resilience there on that run by DeSico.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. I mean, he kept running. Even when he was falling down, he leaned more for more yardage. Now, Old Tappan's really going to have to stop Wayne Hills. Otherwise, they go down by 10 this late. I mean, it's tough.
A 16-yard rush there by DeSico. 1st and 10 for the Patriots from the Knights' 13-yard line. Ogden and Kale split right. DeSico split left. Marson in the backfield. Hand off to Marson. Marson up the middle of the field as he bulldozes his way. And they're going to mark him down at about the 1-yard line. Great running there by Carlton Marson, breaking some tackles, making some nice moves there. So 1st and goal for the Patriots, as Carlton Marson has really gotten a lot of momentum on the side of the Wayne Hills Patriots.
I mean, now 8 minutes left. You know, they just got to kill time. They score now. I mean, that puts them up by 10. Old Tappan's going to have to score really quick to give themselves any opportunity of winning the game.
1st and goal from the 1 for the Patriots. Jumbo set here. Marson in the backfield as Jay Palmer's going to keep it himself. Let's see if he crosses the plane.
No signal yet.
Touchdown, Patriots! A 1-yard touchdown run by Mike Giampapa as the Patriots take a 16-7 lead here with 7:43 remaining in the fourth quarter.
I mean, Jipu pushed the pile there. You got to give credit to the line. The line kept on pushing. Zach Doyes led them up the middle. Pat Mitchell, I mean, they all pushed forward, and Jipu followed them to the promised land. 16-7. Old Tappan's going to have to score quick to come back.
As Giampapa hold, Divers to kick. Snap is good. A beautiful kick by Tim Divers as the Patriots take a 17-7 lead here with 7 minutes and 43 seconds here remaining in the fourth quarter.
I mean, what a momentum shift, David. Jansen throws the interception and caught by to Carleton. Carleton sets up the Patriots for a touchdown. Great run by DeSico, and then Jipu the sneak up the middle. Oh my goodness, David. Momentum is in their favor, and right now the scoreboard shows it.
Well, I'll start with the interception by Marson. He got the Patriots great field position, and then Marson and DeSico did a nice job running the ball up the gut of that Old Tappan defensive line. Then Mike Giampapa capped off the drive with the quarterback keeper into the end zone. But Old Tappan has proven that they can score quickly. It only took them 2 plays on their second to last drive of the first half, as at the 52-yard touchdown catch by Chris Scaduto.
And they're gonna have to score quick, Dave. That's what it all comes down to. Rowe's gonna have to step up for the Golden Knights.
Well, this is Jamie Rowe's defining moment, possibly in his career as a Golden Knight. Kayo kickoff for the Patriots. Line drive kick. Held by Scaduto on about the 8-yard line. Scaduto tries to cut it back to the middle of the field as he's taken down by Kayo and Mike Roller, as Wiley Johnson is absolutely ecstatic with his special teams play here in the second half.
I mean, it's really stepped up, David. It's tightened up so much. We saw in the first half how, it had a couple of weaknesses, but they came out here in the second half and they've tightened up to the point where they're not giving up anything on returns.
So 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line of the Knights. A 2-possession game here for Old Tappan.
Let's go, defense!
As it'll definitely be tough here for Old Tappan to come back, as they have had a tough time finishing off drives here. Scaduto split left, Rowe in the backfield. Martinez in motion. As a handoff to Rowe up the middle, as he gets a minimal gain, if anything, on that rush.
Paul Drake did a great job getting in there and just tackling him. Good job by him and the rest of the defensive line to push Rowe back. And right now, David, Rowe has no answer for the Patriots.
Rowe has really had a tough time tonight. I'm a little surprised because he really started to get into a rhythm in the third quarter. He had a lot of nice runs up the left side of that line, but Paul Drake really did a nice job there slowing down Jamie Rowe. Patriots showing blitz. As the handoff, as Jansen throws the pass, completes a Falkenstern, as Falkenstern breaks the DeSico tackle. As Falkenstern takes it across the 25-yard line. Let's see where they mark this.
So it'll be 3rd and about inches, David.
3rd and inches for the Knights. As Jansen keeps it himself, as Jansen, he might have gotten it on the last push. As I think he has enough for the first down.
It's gonna be close, so they might have to measure.
As Jansen was trying to power against Paul Drake to get the first down. As the chains are coming onto the field, I believe. I think the ref just waited for the chains to come out.
So it'll be officials timeout.
Officials timeout with 6:11 here left in the fourth quarter. Let's see what the call is. As he has enough for the first down, as Kyle Jansen on 3rd and inches moves the chains for the Golden Knights. So 6 minutes and 11 seconds here in the fourth quarter. The Golden Knights really need to work their magic here.
And that was a very generous spot there by the officials, David. I think Jansen was originally down and he stretched at the end, so I think the Knights got a little bit of a break there.
Well, I couldn't see if he was originally down, but I thought in the second effort that he had enough for the first down. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. Martinez split left. Shotgun formation, low snap. Jansen looks across the middle of the field. As the pass is complete to Steven Martinez. A great catch by Martinez as he holds on after the hit from Carlton Marson.
Carlton Marson put up a great hit on him there, but he did a great job of holding on to the ball. I mean, you can't ask for much better than that. I mean, Carlton put in a great hit, but an even better catch there by the Old Tappan wide receiver.
First down for the Knights. 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. Rowe in the backfield. Scaduto split left. Martinez in motion. as the handoff is to Rowe. Rowe stays on his feet and gets across the 45-yard line. A gain of 2 on the play for the Knights.
But as the clock keeps ticking down, Old Tappan's chances for victory are coming down too. They're going to have to put the ball into the end zone soon so that they have enough time to kick the ball off and stop him on D and then try to go for the win.
2nd and 8 for the Knights from their own 47-yard line. Martinez in motion. Jansen back to pass, surveys the field, goes deep down the right side of the field. It's intercepted by Jeremiah Gayo. Jeremiah Gayo has been so clutch for the Patriots on defense the last 2 games. His 2nd interception of the night. And that has to be the nail in the coffin for the Knights.
What a great job there by Jeremiah Gayo. A worse throw there by Jansen, but oh my goodness, Jeremiah went in there and he made his presence known. Jerry actually had an interception last year against the Golden Knights, and his defense this year has been phenomenal, Dave.
Oh, no doubt about it. 4 interceptions over the last 2 games for the Patriots. I don't even know why any NBL quarterback would even think of throwing to his side of the field. He's been that dominant this season. 1st and 10 for the Patriots from their own 14-yard line. I formation, both be split right. Giampapa hand off to Seco as the Seco runs it to the left side of the line. As forward progress has the Seco up to about the 15 or 16-yard line. Let's see where they spot the ball.
And that interception really has emptied some of the faithful for Old Tappan as their fans have started to empty the stadium. So, I mean, that is it, Dave. Really, like, the 17-7 with 4 minutes left. Can't ask much more for a 10-point lead.
Oh, definitely not. Old Tappan, they didn't play terrible on offense tonight, but they just couldn't finish off drives. That was their problem tonight.
You good, G?
So, 2nd and 9 for the Patriots from their own 15-yard line. And now it's basically just running out the clock and making sure no more mistakes are made. As a timeout is called by Coach Olson.
David, as we have a moment, we knew this game when the schedule came out, this would be probably the most important game of the year, at least in the early going for us to do, the closest game we would do. David, I mean, this is it. I mean, this is the last time we're going to do regular season Old Tappan, Wayne Hills, and this is probably the last legit game we're going to do.
Well, it's definitely been a great game here. It's definitely been everything anticipated that anyone could anticipate. But I don't think this is the last time we'll see Old Tappan. I really think we could see Old Tappan in the North 1 Group 3 State semifinals or the North 1 Group 3 State finals.
Oh, definitely. I mean, they are by far the best team the Patriots have played so far. I wouldn't be shocked if this is their only loss on the season, at least in the regular season.
Well, Old Tappan beat Passack Valley, the team that beat them last year. And Old Tappan on their schedule, they play at Indian Hills next week. Then they have a bye. Then they play at Northern Highlands and Mawa. Mawa will give them a run for their money because Mawa played a great game against Wayne Hills last week, only losing 14-0. 2nd and 9 for the Patriots. Hand off to Marson. Marson cuts it back to the left as Marson gets a gain of maybe 1 on the play.
As Old Tappan burns their 2nd timeout there in the going. But, I mean, I really think, Dave, that they're going to at least, they'll finish 8-1 in the regular season. There's no question about it, I don't think.
Oh, definitely. I can't see Old Tappan losing another game in the regular season. But it gets out to the playoffs, North 1 Group 3. You have Wayne Hills, you have Old Tappan, you have Wayne Valley. Those definitely seem to be the 3 strongest teams. As Wayne Valley improved to 5-0 last night after a huge win against the Passaic Valley Hornets. Matt Dortch, over 300 yards on the ground, 3 touchdowns, over 400 yards of total offense. Matt Dortch has just been a beast this season for the Wayne Valley Indians.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Dortch has been more than a beast. He's gone out there and he's put up miraculous numbers for a team that, you know, has done really well. And they actually beat PV last night. And they have not beaten PV, I believe, since the 2000 5 season, I want to say.
Yes, they did, because they were undefeated in the regular season, but they lost in the playoffs to Parsippany Hills 27-7. But for Wayne Valley, it all comes down to the playoffs, because they've been great in the regular season, but they haven't been able to get over the hump in the Northern Group State playoffs. Jimmy Papa back to pass, as the pass is over the head of Brian Ogden, as I guess Coach Olson was trying to pick up a first down and keep the clock running for the Patriots. But I'm a little surprised. I thought Wayne Hills would have ran the ball there, forced Coach Brian Dunn to use his timeouts.
I would not have thrown the ball there again. I mean, I don't know. I'm not the coach, but I would not have thrown the ball. I would have ran the ball, killed more time, taken it off the clock.
As some former Patriots are on hand, Scott Schultz and Mike Fulham enjoying the action here at Old Tappan as the Seacoast back to punt for the Patriots, standing at about the goal line. 3 minutes and 45 seconds here left in the fourth quarter, 17-7 Wayne Hills. Low snap, a short kick by DeSico as it lands out of bounds as they mark it out at about, I would say, the 30-yard line.
Hey, David, they say it's not over till the fat lady sings, and they have pretty good field position, Dave.
Well, they need a quick score here, and then they need to recover an onside kick. Old Tappan does have 2 timeouts remaining, as Old Tappan will start at the Patriots' 36-yard line. As only about a 20-yard punt there by Dan DeSico. And DeSico has done a great job punting the ball for the Patriots. But that was probably the worst punt he's had in 2 years for Wayne Hills. Jansen back to pass, and he is sacked by Bowie Jones and by Paul Drake and Carlton Marson, as Carlton Marson has had a night to remember on defense for the Wayne Hills Patriots.
Oh, absolutely. Coming out, having big hits, making the key plays on defense, even the interception. He's had a great night. Definitely one of him and Jeremiah, definitely defensive MVPs.
So 2nd and 19, Jansen back to pass, as the pass is complete to Sean Wiggers up to about the 34-yard line, gain of 11 on the play. But besides Marston and Carroll, I'm giving my MVPs to that whole defensive line, because they silenced the critics tonight, because Jamie Rowe had a very quiet night for the Knights.
Oh, definitely, David. I mean,
as the pass is incomplete, intended for Scaduto. So it's 4th down here for the Knights. 4th and 8 from the Patriots' 34-yard line. 2 minutes and 44 seconds here remaining in the fourth quarter.
I mean, David, you gotta, I'm just saying this, you gotta have Rowe go out for a pass and throw it to Rowe. You gotta throw it to the best player you got.
Well, you have to go at least 10 yards deep. But I don't know who they go to here, because besides Cajudo, no one's really made a play for the Knights in the receiving department tonight. 4th and 8 here for the Golden Knights of Old Tappan from the Patriots' 34-yard line. 2 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the game, as Jansen loses the ball, as Jansen is sacked. Paul Drake, his 2nd sack on this drive, and that is the nail in the coffin for the Golden Knights of Old Tappan, if it didn't already happen on the Carroll interception, as the Wayne Hills Patriots defense has been outstanding tonight.
Not only has it silenced the Old Tappan faithful, but it has silenced the PA announcer here at Old Tappan Stadium, as he was very animate the whole night. And just as Old Tappan struggles, so does the man of the voice of the team. He struggles too.
2 minutes and 36 seconds here remaining in the game. 17-7 Patriots. So the Patriots really rose to the occasion tonight against Old Tappan, stopping Jamie Rowe and making the key plays on defense when they had to. Kale split right eye formation. Hand off Marson. Marson makes a move, bounces out to the left side of the field as he fumbles. Marson loses the ball, as it's Old Tappan football. So Old Tappan gets the ball with about 2 minutes and 20 seconds here remaining in the game, as Old Tappan gets the ball on the Hills 45-yard line.
David, this is definitely not what the Patriots envisioned, as another chance now for the Golden Knights.
First and 10 for the Knights. Jansen back to pass. Jansen down the field as the pass hits off the hand of Rowe. Incomplete. 17-7 Patriots. 2 minutes and 25 seconds here left in the fourth quarter. Jansen back to pass. Jansen rolls out to his right to elude the pressure. As the pass is intercepted by Jeremiah Gayo. His third interception of the night. As I'm not sure what's going on here. They're whistling the play dead. I have no idea what's going on here at Old Tappan Stadium.
These two guys are hurt, but I don't know what the whistle was about, David.
No flags were thrown on the play. As number 54, Jack Horsgan, down on one knee for the Golden Knights.
I don't know what was going on.
As it is an interception, I believe. 2 minutes and 13 seconds here remaining in the game. As Jeremiah Gayo, I'm not sure, this might be a record for interceptions in a game for the Patriots.
Could be. We'll have to look at the yearbook when we go home.
But I don't know why teams keep throwing the ball his way, because he's just been outstanding this season for the Patriots. And he's proven himself as a shutdown corner in North Jersey. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Patriots on their own 34-yard line. 2 minutes and 13 seconds here remaining in the game. And barring a miracle, Wayne Hills has this game in their back pocket. I formation here for the Patriots. As the handoff is to DeSico, as DeSico dives ahead to about the 42-yard line, a gain of 8. 2 minutes and 3 seconds here remaining in the game.
David, I mean, it just shows you how hard you have to work to be the best and to beat the best. And really, Wayne Hills shows that they are the best, Dave. It's that plain and simple.
Well, anyone who was doubting Wayne Hills answered a lot of questions tonight. And they're still the best team in North Jersey when talking about public schools. And they're definitely still the best team in the NBIL. And they made their statement here tonight. A minute and 30 here remaining in the game. Volpe split right. Hand off to Marson. Marson up the field. Marson spin move. He's still on his feet as Marson takes it down to about the 38-yard line. Great running there by Carlton Marson to stay on his feet as he was dragging ball carriers up the right side of the field.
And now they will go into championship formation, I would assume, David.
I would think so too. A minute and 15 here remaining in the fourth quarter. 17-7 Patriots. There's a night to remember for the secondary of the Wayne Hills Patriots, other than that one touchdown by Old Tappan. Carlton Morrison had to pick a huge interception. Jeremiah Gayo, 3 interceptions for the Patriots. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. I formation. Giampapa, handoff to DeSico. DeSico to the right side of the field. DeSico to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Patriots. A 39-yard touchdown by Danny DeSico as the Patriots take a 23-0 lead.
Unbelievable, David. I mean, it really is a story in itself. I'm not sure why they actually ran the ball, but who cares? I mean, Danny did a great job running the ball, getting into the end zone. It just shows you that they really are the best they ever had.
Well, I think they needed, well, actually, they didn't need to run the ball there. They probably could have kneeled it. But I guess with 10-point lead, Wayne Hills wanted to make sure that they had this game won. So 23-7 Patriots, 45 seconds here remaining in the game. Divers on for the extra point. Snap is good, the hold is good. As the kick splits the uprights, 24-7 Patriots. As Tim Divers is now 24 for 25 on extra points this season. Plus the 36-yard field goal he kicked in the first quarter to get the Patriots on the board.
I mean, David, I'm no math professor, but that's 96% on extra points, and in my book, that's pretty good.
The only one he missed was after a penalty by DeSico against Ramapo. So instead of it being the typical 19-yard field goal, it was a 34-yard try, which he missed. So 45 seconds here in the game as the fans for Old Tappan start to file out here. If you're Old Tappan, how do you feel about this game? Do you feel disappointed?
You know what, I feel disappointed, but I also feel that, hey, you know, we ran with the best in New Jersey, basically, in North Jersey, at least in the public school area. And you know what, I'd give them more confidence for them to possibly play them in the playoffs and just give them more opportunity. Sorry for my pause there. I was just appalled because Aaron Plasha came up to the booth, and I was not expecting to see him as he said he was not going to be here.
Well, Mawa will still have the bragging rights to say that they played the Patriots closest this season, as the kick is handled by Scaduto. Scaduto up the middle of the field, taken down at about the 22-yard line. But the Patriots will not face Mawa again until next year because Mawa is in North 1 Group 2. But if I'm Coach Brian Dunn, I tell my team we had the chances, we had a good drive in the third quarter, but we couldn't finish off the drive. We didn't make the plays when they need to be made, and that's really been what Old Tappan has been about the past couple years. Very talented teams, but when it came time to make the big play in the big game, they haven't been able to come through. It's just plain and simple. But if I'm Coach Brian Dunn, I tell my team, we didn't play that battle, we need to work on a few things, and let's go get them in the North 1 Group 3 state playoffs in another month. First and 10 for the Golden Knights from their own 24-yard line. Jansen back to pass. Rolls out to his left. Avoids a tackle by Bowen Jones as Jansen runs out of bounds. Gain of about 6 on the play. 27 seconds here left in the game.
And it's as if this is Jansen's biggest nemesis, Dave. It really is. The Golden Knights of the Wayne Hills Patriots are his nemesis. He can never beat them. He can never find a way to play well against them.
Well, he did throw the only touchdown pass, but he really did not play well tonight at all. 4 interceptions, overthrew a lot of passes. He did not look comfortable at all, especially in the second half. But this really falls on Jamie Rowe. He had over 670 yards on the ground, 14 touchdowns. Did not get into the end zone tonight. Jansen back to pass, as the pass is complete to number 22, Sean Massaro. As the clock is stopped.
When it's a first down in high school, David, it stops.
Is that always or just?
Yeah, always.
Oh, I did not know that. You learn something new every day, even with 15 seconds here left in the game. But Jamie Rowe did have the night he envisioned tonight. He probably didn't even get more than 50 to 60 yards on the ground. Just shows how great this running defense is of the Patriots. But Old Tappan, I believe they didn't even get into the red zone tonight.
Right. No, they didn't, David. They really struggled. And that's all because of the defense of Wayne Hills.
As that is the end of the game here at Old Tappan Stadium. The final score from Old Tappan, the Patriots 24, the Golden Knights 7. Andrew, what are your thoughts on this game?
And you know what, David? Old Tappan came out fired up. So did Wayne Hills. Wayne Hills just totally shut out the Golden Knights on the defensive side of the ball. They did a great job of containing Jamie Rowe, and he was a non-factor tonight. Offensive side, they picked it up in the second half. They got the first downs when needed. They only put up 24 points, so you know what? They came out when needed. They got the first downs. G. Poo made the good passes, and the running backs, you got to give your hat. Carlton Marson and Danny DeSico did the job, got the first down, and got the touchdowns when needed.
Well, I really have to give credit to this Wayne Hills defense. They did a phenomenal job tonight, especially on the defensive line, because Jamie Rowe did not have a good night at all, had a lot of trouble running the ball. The Patriots really made sure Old Tappan didn't get the big play on the ground. And then Jeremiah Carroll, Carlton Marson, 4 combined interceptions tonight. Whenever Old Tappan got something going, their drives got thwarted because of the secondary of the Wayne Hills Patriots. On the offensive side of the ball, Mike Giampapa did a nice job throwing the ball down the field when he needed to, especially with the pass to Kyle. And then Danny DeSico and Carlton Marson in the second half really took over this game and made the key plays on the ground.
Oh, absolutely, Dave. I mean, it was all about the key plays and the little plays, and who was going to make the big play. And you know what? Jeremiah Cahill came out on defense. 3 interceptions. Carlton Marson with 1 interception, and along with a couple great hits. You got to give kudos to the whole team because they came out, every single player tonight, and played to their potential, and it showed they are the best team in North Jersey public school-wise.
And the question before the season for Old Tappan was, they had all the talent. They had Jamie Rowe, they had Kyle Jansen, they had a big offensive line, they had a big team this year, they had a lot of returning players, but the question was, could they make the key play? And the answer is still no for the Golden Knights of Old Tappan. As next week, the Patriots return out to Patriots Stadium after a 2-game road trip and face the Passack Valley Indians, who lost to this Old Tappan team last week, as Passack Valley coming off a 21-14 win against Bergenfield today. As the final score from Old Tappan is 24-7 Patriots, thanks to some great defense in the secondary and on the defensive line, and a rushing touchdown by Danny DeSico and Mike Giampapa, and a touchdown reception by Jeremiah Kale. For Andrew Gayo, Brian Rossman, I'm David Suntup. Have a stupendous evening.